Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and it is time for the 2019 Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race weekend, and for the first time ever, it's all gonna be in one video, and we begin the festivities here from the Eldora Speedway with the Chick-Fil-A Open, a 30-lap race around this half-mile dirt track in Rossburg, Ohio, where the top two finishers will advance on to the All-Star Race. Of course, the eligibility to get into the All-Star Race is you have to either be a champion, a past All-Star Race winner, a winner from last season, or a winner from this season. We already have 26 drivers locked into the All-Star Race. I can't name every single one of them off the top of my head for you right now, but 3 more drivers will join them later tonight here from the Eldora Speedway. Like I mentioned, the top 2 finishers in this event, and then the fan vote winner. And the 22 drivers who are not in the All-Star Race yet are in this open event here tonight, which means that none of these guys have won a race in the past few seasons, have won a championship, or have won a prior All-Star Race. A lot of these guys are rookies, but surprisingly enough, the top 2 drivers starting this race are guys who have been around for quite some time, especially the guy who's starting on the pole, Nicholas Samadeo. So it's going to be very interesting to see who advances on here tonight, and it'll be fun to announce the fan vote winner as well. We have 22 drivers in this race, like I mentioned, and each one of them looking to have a chance at getting into the Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race. And if you win the Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race, that means you get a reserve for next season. Next season's going to be a little bit different. We really don't know what it's going to be like yet, but we'll say whoever wins the Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race later tonight will be able to reserve and create their own custom car for season number 9. But either way, we're ready to get this one started here from the Eldora Speedway. We're going to have the Chick-Fil-A Open right now. After this, it's going to be Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race qualifying, and then the Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race later tonight with 4 segments. The first 3 segments, each being 20 laps long, then the final segment being 10 laps long. What will happen at the end of each segment, with the exception of the third segment there, the end of segment 1 and segment 2, we will invert the field, and the best average finishing position of those 3 segments will determine the starting lineup for the final 10-lap segment. So if you've watched the past 2 All-Star races, we're doing it exactly like we have the past 2 years. So it should be a fun one here from Eldora. And it all begins with the qualifier event, the Chick-Fil-A Open. Nicholas Samadeo is on the pole position in the number 48. Alongside him, it's Andrew Miller. And Andrew Miller is still going for his first career Napa Fan win. And the good thing about this race, it does count as a Napa Fan victory if you get it. Christian Russell, Stephen Thompson, Angel Oliveira, Zachary DeLello, Silas Borda, Lucas Jacobson, Sebastian Kukulon, and Garrett Zenor. Garrett Zenor in his 2nd straight Chick-Fil-A Open. Actually, it might be his 3rd straight Chick-Fil-A Open. But that's how they line up there on the side of your screen. And with that, we're green flag racing in the 2019 Chick-Fil-A Open. Lap 1 will be led by Nicholas Samadeo, but laps led do not mean anything only unless it is the final lap of the race, as there are no points associated with this event this weekend here from Eldora, so it's all just for fun, and these guys are going to go all out on the dirt to get the race victory. Of course, the All-Star Race is as late as it is because we wanted the Eldora race to be really close to the real-life Eldora race in the Truck Series. That's going to be this coming Thursday night. But tonight, it's all about the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. To the inside, Angel Oliveira for the race lead. Here comes Fisher G in the number 6. And Fisher G is going to take the final transfer position away from Nicholas Samadeo. Here comes Kukulon in the number 13. Silas Orta's up here, Carter Friesen. And one thing about the All-Star Race is we bring modified race cars that do not take any damage, essentially. We turn the damage off for the All-Star Race, But the thing is, if you finish a lap down in a segment later on tonight in the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race, you will be out of the race. So there won't be any cautions in any of these events. These guys can bump and bang as much as they want to without any repercussions, except you might get spun around and might get caught a lap down. And like I mentioned, if that happens, you're out of the race. Kukal onto the race lead. Here comes Silas Orta taking the second transfer position away. Riley Spurley's up here. Lucas Jacobson and Daniel Voiles on the inside lane. And unfortunately, Sam Medea was falling back as he got stuck in the outside lane. But we are still early on here in this Chick-Fil-A Open from Eldora, lap 8 of 30 here. Riley Spurley to the inside. That is for the second position, and Spurley is going to take it away from Silas Orta. Here comes the number 6 machine of Fisher G. Daniel Voiles inside the top 5. But if you do not finish top 2 in this race, you have to depend on the fan vote, and only one driver is going to get the advancement from that. Of course, we thank everyone who voted this year for the Chick-Fil-A All-Star fan vote. Had 34 different votes for this year's entry, and we appreciate every single one of you for chiming in and deciding who makes it into the All-Star race this year. Of course, last year, the All-Star fan vote winner won the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. That was Tristan Allen. Daniel Voiles to the inside, going to take it away from Sebastian Kukulon, but Kukulon remains in the second position right there. Silas Orta trying to advance his way to the inside of Sebastian Kukulon. He's going to be able to do so right there. Got Julio Cesar, Nick Smith up here, Michael Canto. Alexander Rowe, this is his first ever Open event. Let's see, a 3-season veteran to the Chick-fil-A Cup. He did not win a race last year, he's yet to win a race this year. He's deep in the field right now. Sam Medeo trying to move his way back on the inside lane. Emily Anderson's probably the best driver in this field, at least for this season. She's second in the points coming in to this event. Of course, like I mentioned, this race does not award any championship points, but Emily Anderson has been doing a great job as a rookie driver, but she hasn't won anything yet, so that's why she's in the Open right now, and doesn't look too good for her. She's deep in the field here, coming to halfway. Back to the race lead, Silas Orta and Sebastian Kukulon, the top 2 positions right there. Voiles lost it, but seems like Kukulon's remaining in that second position pretty well right now. Fisher G in the outside wall just a little bit. One thing about Eldora is these guys tend to overshoot the corners just a little bit each and every time, and that makes it very interesting here from the Eldora Speedway. We've seen some crazy finishes here in the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. Season 6 was especially crazy. Zachary Fitzwater was the race leader coming off the final corner, hit the outside wall, coming to the checkered flag, and then Cody Sill drove by him and got the race victory in Season 6. Of course, last year was Tristan Allen's race victory, and actually easily won that thing, but we got a lot of crazy things to happen here from Eldora. And to the inside, Riley Spurley taking the last transfer spot away from Sebastian Kukulon. Here comes Julio Cesar in the number 10. And his teammates moving his way through the field here. Nicholas Samedeo, Justin Seidl's team, Seidl Motorsports. They already have Christian Master in the All-Star race from his race victory a couple weeks ago from Daytona. But 3 of their guys are here in the Open right now, including Julio Cesar, Nicholas Samedeo, and Roger Ray. Fisher G's up here. Colton Yo inside the top 10, and then a little bit of a gap between Colton Yo and 9th place Roger Ray, who's now getting passed by the number 67. Some guys who have not had good nights here in this Open event. Andrew Miller's deep in the field, and Garrett Sonor has slipped up and fallen out of line, and that is tough for him. Of course, he might still win the fan vote, but it doesn't look like he's going to make it into the All-Star race for the 2nd straight year, which is something because he's been the all-time winningest driver on NAPA for a very long time, but he has not had a lot of success in this series in recent years. But one guy is having a lot of success right now with 10 laps to go in the Chick-Fil-A Open. It's Riley Spurley and the number 39 going for his first career Napa Fan win here tonight. This might just be the easiest race to win on Napa Fan, considering how few competitors there are and how short the race is. But still, a win is a win, and this is actually where Justin Heath won his first career Napa Fan win last year. It's in this very race. Here comes Julio Cesar to the inside. And as of right now, none of the uncharted drivers are in the All-Star race yet, which might be a first time that we've had it that way for the All-Star race. Possibly. Yeah, I think so. Can't quite remember Season 2 we had in the part-time drivers in that year's All-Star race, but either way, Colton Yo's been doing a great job. He's moved his way up to the second position, trying to become the only uncharted driver in the All-Star race for this year. Of course, none of the uncharted drivers have won a race this year in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, and because of that, all 8 of them are in this Open right now. They make up 8/20 seconds, which is 4/11ths of the field, which is quite a bit. Only 14 drivers in this Open event are full-time drivers. Of course, we have ourselves 26 full-time drivers already in the All-Star race. And we might end up with 2 more here as Fisher G has moved his way to the second position. And now it is 4 laps to go. Whoa, Michael Canto and Garrett Senor clogging the racetrack up. Thankfully, the leaders avoided them. It's actually, excuse me, not Michael Canto. Yeah, it was. Excuse me, it was Canto. It was Canto's teammate right behind him there. But Canto and Senor now both a lap down in this Open event. It's a tough break for them, as they've fallen out of line, and only unless they advance through the fan vote, they are not going to win the not going to be in, I should say, the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. Riley Spurley with 2 laps to go, and it's almost looking as if this race is sealed. I just don't know if Colton Yo is going to be able to catch up to Fisher G in time. It's going to be the white flag next time by here in the Chick-Fil-A Open, and Riley Spurley leads it with 1 lap to go, looking to advance on to the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race with Fisher G. We're going to follow with this battle right here. Will Colton Yo have enough to get around the number 6? This is for the last transfer position. If Fisher G overshoots it, he's not going to get it, but he's going to get it. Fisher G and Riley Spurley advance on to the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. Great job by those drivers right there. And Spurley near the end of that thing pulled away to take home his first career Napa fan victory here tonight. And he's going to be going for a Season 9 reserve here from the Eldora Speedway. Same with Fisher G. And same with somebody else. The fan vote winner for 2019 is the driver of the number 68, Carter Friesen. Wins the Chick-Fil-A fan vote, and he is the 29th and final driver, making it into the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. There are the official standings right there. Riley Spurley and Fisher G advancing on, and Carter Friesen, with the help of the fans, puts Full Frontal Motorsports all in the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. Of course, Wyatt Quayle and Diego Yepez already won races this season, and now their teammate Carter Friesen will join them as the fan vote winner. So we'll have to see how it all shakes out. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and they'll be right back with Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race qualifying here from Eldora. Congratulations to Riley Spurley and Fisher G to advancing on to the All-Star Race, and Carter Friesen for winning the fan vote here tonight from Eldora. Let's go ahead and get the qualifying for the Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race. And here we are back at the Eldora Speedway, and we are now going to set the starting lineup for the 2019 Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race. Gonna be a fun one here tonight from the Eldora Speedway, like it always is, and I'm excited to see who gets the reserve for season number 9 of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. And like I mentioned, the winner gets to choose his own number, paint scheme, and sponsors, manufacturer, and all that jazz, and still drive in the next season of the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. So lots at stake here, and it is, you know, a good chance, because last week we did the owner sign-ups for the Turkey Hill Truck. There's a good chance the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series might also adopt that rule for season number 9 next year. So that's what we're thinking is going to happen. Not 100% sure yet, but that makes this All-Star Race win even more worthwhile, because it might be a little bit more difficult to get a ride next year with those new rules. But either way, Brad Stover's out here in number 99. Of course, he won twice last year at... where did he win last year? Canadian Tire and Nashville. And this year he also won at Rockingham, North Carolina, which is why he's in the All-Star race. Matthew Phillips, the most recent guy to advance onto the All-Star race without having to go into the Open. He was the race winner at the Kentucky Speedway Andrew Ross won at Texas earlier this year, bringing back his throwback scheme for this event. And Tristan Allen, he is the defending All-Star Race winner, and my golly, he almost got the win last week in Nashville. Had to come down the pit lane right when the caution came out there, and that gave way to Seth Cole winning the race. There's the number 79 of Matt Dalio, Season 4 Chick-Fil-A Cup Series champion. That's why he's in the All-Star Race. We got Trey Bartow there, winner from North Wilkesboro earlier this season. Daniel McMillan won at Rockingham, North Carolina last season, which is why he's in the All-Star Race this year. There's Justin Roberts in the number 38. Justin Roberts won at Richmond earlier this year and also won twice last year as well at the Armory Digital Super Speedway and someplace else that I can't remember. And I apologize to Justin Roberts on that. There's Carter Friesen, your All-Star Race winner. Or not, All-Star Race fan vote winner, excuse me. We're not to the All-Star Race yet. Our fan vote winner from this year right there. Zachary Fitzwater, winner of 3 races last year, Daytona 500, Texas Motor Speedway, and Phoenix. Jonathan Skimnicki, winner from Martinsville earlier this year. Ace Garcia, 2-time winner last year, Road America and Kentucky. Mark Davidson, the Coke 600 winner from this year. Jesse Turner, winner from Bristol last year, and the Season 2 Chick-Fil-A Cup Series champion, and the Season 5 All-Star Race winner in the Lake Effect Ice Cream number 77. Of course, Lake Effect, the sponsor of the race next week at Watkins Glen. Of course, Jesse Turner, big patron, or former patron of the company, and a big fan of Lake Effect Ice Cream. He used to live in the area. Gave me the name for the race a few years ago, and it's stuck ever since, and they became the full-time sponsor of the Watkins Glen weekend. And so Jesse Turner's going to be driving this special scheme next weekend for Otter Islander Sports at the Watkins Glen race, and they decided to go ahead and run it in the All-Star Race as well. Mitchell Henderson, winner from Kansas earlier this season. John Arndt, winner from Pocono and Darlington from last year. Patrick Smith, 2-time winner this season, one of 2 multiple-time winners this season. The other one's going right to the inside of him. Of course, Patrick Smith was the winner at Phoenix and Road America. Nathan Baird, winner at Atlanta and Dover, and the points leader by a lot. Driving number 40. Josh Marzak won the Daytona 500 this year. Fisher G was the runner-up in the Chick-Fil-A Open a while ago. John Andrews won Talladega earlier this season. Cody Sill, Season 6 Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race winner and winner from Chicagoland earlier this year and Chicagoland last year as well. Christian Master won the Daytona race not too long ago. I mentioned Andrew Ross right there. Hair Gillard and Alonso, winner from Dover last year. Riley Spurley won the Chick-Fil-A Open. Diego Yepes won Auto Club earlier this year. Nathan Stapleton won Martinsville last year. Seth Cole, 2-time winner this season. Excuse me, I completely forgot about Seth Cole. So it's actually 3 multiple-time winners so far this season. Patrick Smith, Nathan Baird, and then Seth Cole, who won at Michigan and Nashville this year. And boy, that Nashville race was something else. I hesitated uploading that. I really did, but I decided to go with it because, you know what? I didn't have time to redo it. But Seth Cole benefited from that, so we'll have to see if he benefits with his 3rd career Napa fan win here tonight. That might be everybody. I have a feeling we missed somebody. I don't think we did, though. I think everyone has been accounted for here. So those are your 29 drivers in the 2019 Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race. Of course, we mentioned Riley Spurley, All-Star Open winner. Yeah, got it right that time. I mentioned John Arndt there. Oh, one last driver, Wyatt Quayle, the number 33 winner from Las Vegas earlier this season. And, yeah, everyone's clocked in at time so far, all 29 drivers. And right now, the fastest driver is the number 15 of Matthew Phillips. And I'm going to explain the system for the All-Star Race now, so I do not have to do it later on. We're going to have ourselves 3 20-lap segments followed by a 10-lap segment. At the end of the first 2 segments, the field will be inverted, and it is the average finishing position in the first 3 segments that determines the starting lineup for the final 10-lap segment, which determines the race winner. they explain that pretty well. It's the same system we have used since season number 6, so you guys should fairly understand it by now. And with that, I'm just going to let them loose. If you finish a lap down in any segment, you will be eliminated from competition. You'll be out of the race if you finish a lap down. There are no damage models, or there aren't any damage. There won't be any damage on these race cars. I don't know anymore, guys. There won't be any damage on the race cars if they hit the wall or anything like that. They're modified so they can take as many hits as they possibly can, but that does not save them from spinning around and slowing down on the racetrack, which could cause them to go a lap down, and there will not be any cautions in the event either. So other than that, that's all you need to know for the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race here in 2019. Same way we've done it the past 2 years. And Matthew Phillips, fastest guy in town, in the number 15. Great run for him there for the Velocity Racing organization. Their only drivers not making in were Michael Canto and Daniel Voiles, but they do have 2 drivers with Andrew Ross and Matthew Phillips, both winners this season. A lot of guys with potential of getting an all-star race victory. A lot of guys who need a good win, like Kerja Larvin Alonso, Matt Dalio in the 79. Jesse Turner hasn't been having a good season either. Ace Garcia could use a good run and a race victory. Josh Marzak, I mean, he won the Daytona 500, but he's had a really, really tough season in that number 34. There's a lot of guys who definitely love this All-Star Race victory. Nathan Stapleton, I mean, another guy who has not had a good season at all. Only got in because of his win last year at Martinsville, and if he doesn't win tonight, doesn't win the rest of the season, and doesn't win up until next year's All-Star Race, he'll have to go to the Open again. Well, actually, you know what? He's never been in the Open before. It'll be a second All-Star Race. There's some guys who have been in every single All-Star Race. One guy is Zachary Fitzwater. He won the first one. The Season 1 All-Star Race winner right there, Zachary Fitzwater. And he has come close to winning this thing at Eldora both years we've been here, actually. He almost won it in Season 6, and I believe he finished either second or third last year behind Tristan Allen, who got the victory last year. But Zachary Fitzwater's really, really good in the All-Star race. Going for his 17th career Napa fan win if he were to get it done here tonight. We have Luke Rainey in the booth with us for the All-Star race later on. Our first co-commentator in a while here on Napa Fan. Haven't had too many as of late, but great to have another voice in the booth with me because that means I'll make less mistakes. Or fewer mistakes, and that was a mistake right there for any of you grammar geeks. You know, sometimes I'm typing in Discord and I can't even type correctly sometimes because I don't proofread what I type, and it sounds stupid sometimes. Because I'll be trying to say one thing and there's an obvious glaring mistake that makes what I said look entirely stupid because I never double check anything. At least in this department. Not good at that. Anyways, Matthew Phillips, and the number 15 is going to start on the pole position for the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. How about Diego Yepez grabbing the outside pole? There is your pole sitter right there. With Josh Marzak, Christian Masters, Seth Cole, Mark Davidson, Jonathan Skivnicki, Justin Roberts, Wyatt Quayle, and Matt Dalio. That is how they will line up for the All-Star race segment number 1. Of course, at the end of segment 1 and segment 2, the field inverts, and at the end of segment 3, we go by the average finishing position of the first 3 segments to determine the starting lineup for the final segment, the final 10-lap segment, which determines the race winner. So, gonna be fun with all these inverts. You're gonna be seeing pretty much everybody run up front at some point throughout this race, but all it is for the first 3 segments is getting the best average finishing position so you get the best starting position for the final segment. But we'll have to see how it all goes down and see who gets the race victory later on tonight. McMillan, the slowest guy, and those are the rest of the results right there from Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race qualifying. So it's going to be fun to see who gets it done here tonight. And in just 30 seconds, we're going to go ahead and get this race started from the Eldora Speedway. So congratulations to Matthew Phillips on the pole. Let's go ahead and begin the Season 8 Chick-Fil-A All-Star Race from Eldora.
just putting the finishing touches on this racetrack.
One of America's iconic racetracks. This is Eldora. Look at that view. Big crash, turn 3. A lot of damage. Oh, spins it around. Tonight, he will go to victory lane, winning at the Big E.
Hello, once again from Eldora, and we are back here at the Eldora Speedway to run the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. It's going to be 70 laps for a Season 9 reserve, and it's going to be a fun race here tonight. Like I mentioned earlier on, it's going to be a 4-segment race. The first 3 segments each 20 laps long, and the final segment 10 laps long. We're going to invert the field at the end of the first and second segments, and then the starting lineup for the final 10-lap segment will be determined by the best average finishing position of these drivers. I'm alongside Luke Rainey for this event here tonight. In the Open, we saw Riley Spurley, the eventual winner of the Open, pull away just a little bit. Only thing is, that was a 30-lap race from start to finish. These guys aren't really going to get the opportunity to do so. So what is the trick to stay up front here at the Eldora Speedway?
I think it's the inside line. That is the key here around this short track. I mean, it's dirt racing, so you can really run anywhere, but the inside is definitely the preferred groove, and especially with the starting situation with how the field get invert in segments 2 and 3, and then we take the average finish for that final segment. That's really going to play into things, so you want to be on that bottom line, I think.
You definitely do, but if you are a little too wide off the corner, you can also hit the outside wall, and we're going to see a lot of that in tonight's event as well. Got 29 drivers in the field, all these drivers looking to get a reserve for season number 9 in an all-star race victory. This does not affect the championship whatsoever, so we're not going to go over that right now. And in case you don't know what's going on over there, Nathan Baird is literally destroying the entire field. But it's not about the championship here tonight. It's about this one race and this one race alone, and it's going to be a fun one to see who gets it done here at Eldora. We've seen last lap passes here before, last corner passes, as a matter of fact, here, Season 6, when Cody Sill won this race. Zachary Fitzwater was the race leader, and Fitzwater overshot the final corner, and Sill drove right to the inside to take the lead away. So we can see something very similar here tonight in this year's All-Star race. It's the 8th ever All-Star race in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. And no drivers actually ever won this race twice before. We do have a few guys in the field who have won this race before. Zachary Fitzwater, Jesse Turner, and Tristan Allen, along with Cody Sill as well. We actually have 4 past All-Star race winners at least in this race who are looking to get their second All-Star race victory, and all 4 of those guys have a very good chance at doing so. Of course, Tristan Allen won this race last year as the fan vote winner. This year, the fan vote winner was Carter Friesen, so it might work out pretty well for Carter Friesen getting his first ever Chick-Fil-A Cup Series win. Technically, even though it's not an official Chick-Fil-A Cup Series win, it would still be a pretty big deal because that's what Tristan did last year. His first technical Chick-Fil-A Cup Series win in the All-Star race. So it's going to be fun. And we're going to have ourselves Matthew Phillips starting on the pole position in segment number 1. Alongside him, it's Diego Yepez in number 92. Josh Marzak will start alongside Christian Master, both of the Daytona winners, starting alongside each other there in row 2. Seth Cole, the winner from last week at Nashville and the winner of the NOFSRL 500, is going to be starting in the 5th position alongside Mark Davis and Jonathan Skivnicki, starting in the 9th position there for Durek Motor Racing. He won the race at Martinsville earlier this year, and he will be starting alongside the number 38 of Justin Roberts, who won at Richmond, another short track in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series. The rest of the starting lineup there on the side of your screen. We'll roll through and see where everybody's starting there. Make sure everyone rolls off just fine here. There are no cautions, and there is no damage on these machines either, so they can beat and bang as much as they want. However, if they finish a lap down in any of the segments, they will be out of the race here from Eldora. The pace car is pulled off. Matthew Phillips and Diego Yepez will lead us to the green flag, and we're all-star racing at Eldora. The first lap in segment 1, led by Matthew Phillips. Here comes Josh Marzak to the inside with Seth Cole trying to go back-to-back with race victories in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series.
And there you see pulling to the inside right there. This is all happening in front of, well, it's a 93 right there in that red and yellow machine. And it looks like that's 34 going to pull to the race lead right here. He's got him in 1 and 2.
A good run there for Josh Marzak, taking the lead away from Matthew Phillips. Of course, the thing is, if you win this segment, you're going to be starting last in the next segment. But it's the best average finishing position that determines the starting lineup for the final segment. So you want to get those good runs, even if they're going to hurt you in the next segment. And Marzak doing a good job right now. Of course, it's only 20 laps per segment, so it's not much time to move your way from the back to the front here. But always good to get to the front because that'll definitely help with your starting position in the segment that really counts. Here's Andrew Ross in number 35. He's behind John Andrews right there, just outside the top 5. Nathan Stapleton's up here. Alonzo Cody Sill, who won this race in Season 6, and Tristan Allen, who won here in Season 7. They're the only 2 drivers in this field who have won All-Star races at the Eldora Speedway, and right now they're both inside the top 10 here on lap 6.
Tristan Allen definitely making his way forward, and I'd imagine that his Chick-fil-A Cup Series streak still hasn't ended, but good news that we're all-star racing. The race doesn't count, so maybe he can win this one. I don't know, but we'll just have to see. He is doing a good job already.
He's 3 wide to the inside, and unfortunately, that losing streak is still going for him. He almost had a shot last week in Nashville, but he just didn't have enough fuel in the tank to make it, and Seth Cole did. That race ended very, very oddly. But Tristan Allen could not capitalize on it. Still got a really good run, nonetheless, but wasn't the best of runs for him as he could have had the win, but just couldn't get it. Seth Cole to the race lead, but Matthew Phillips, our pole sitter, staying up front pretty well right there for the number 15 machine, and looks like Matthew Phillips might have a good chance at possibly winning this race because he was able to get right back to the race lead here pretty quickly.
Too early to tell anything early. I think any of these guys could win this if they really wanted to, but I watched Josh Marzak, and while those guys are battling, it looked like he was closing in, and they always got to make the move for second place, and that's going to allow Phillips to pull away a little bit, but that was a very quick pass there by Josh Marzak.
It definitely was, and Marzak's going to put Seth Cole in the 3rd position. Then you got here Jalarvin Alonso, and here is the Open winner from earlier tonight. Riley Spurley up to the 5th position in the number 39. Did a great job in that Open event. I was able to lead the final few laps in that thing, and that's why he's in tonight's event here. Patrick Smith is up here in number 66. He's had a really good season compared to last season driving for North State Racing. 2 wins on the year at Road America and Phoenix. And here he is inside the top 10. And you have Tristan Allen, Mitchell Henderson, Zachary Fitzwater, and Jesse Turner to the inside. Couple of past All-Star Race winners right there. Turner won the Season 5 All-Star Race at Armory Digital, and all the way back in Season 1, Zachary Fitzwater was victorious at the Coca-Cola Super Speedway. So those guys, watch out for him as this race goes along. But watch out for this guy, Matthew Phillips. Won the pole, and he's led the most laps so far here in segment number 1. We'll have to see what he can do when he starts in the back of the field for the next segment, because the way it's looking, he's going to win this segment and start last for segment number 2. We have not had anybody go a lap down yet, which is good. Seems that everybody is still in the lead lap here, which means that everybody is still in the race here for the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race.
Matthew Phillips definitely has a very strong car, but as you mentioned, he hasn't really had to make his way through the field quite yet. But even with that said, let's just say he does have a bad segment 2 and he's stuck in the back. He will be able to start at the front in segment 3 and then maybe have a good finish right there to kind of offset that segment 2 finish. So I'm not too concerned about the way Matthew Phillips is running right now. And based on the fact that he has enough power here to just kind of ride around this racetrack, I am confident that he will be able to make his way through this field without too much difficulty.
Riley Spurley and Jesse Turner want to have something different to say about it, but it's looking like Matthew Phillips might pull away with this thing. But it's not quite over yet. There goes Marzak on Jesse Turner for 3rd. And Spurley might be closing in here just a little bit on Matthew Phillips. Of course, Matthew Phillips, the last guy to make it into the All-Star race that didn't race in the Open, and he really went wide through the corner, and Marzak to the inside on the final lap of segment 2. And just like that, Josh Marzak's out of nowhere. It's been a terrible season for him in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series other than his Daytona 500 victory, but it looks like he's going to get something to go his way. Marzak's going to win segment 1, and Phillips will fall to 3rd. Right at the end there is Spurley stole that second position away with Zachary Fitzwater and Jesse Turner, the top 5 in segment number 1 of the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. Everybody finished on the lead lap. So that means that all 29 drivers are still in here at Eldora.
Jesse Phillips, he has to be thinking, like, what in the world just happened there? He got absolutely run over by that pack of cars. They charged him down just in time. And good job by Josh Marzak getting that segment victory. We'll see what he's able to do starting in dead last for the next segment, though.
He is. We'll have to see how well his race car runs here in this next segment. Mark Davidson will be starting on the pole position for segment number 2. Let's go ahead and get to the second segment here from the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race at Eldora. And here we go for segment number 2 of the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race from Eldora. The field has been inverted, and it's now Mark Davidson and Christian Master who are up front with John Art, Carter Friesen, Nathan Baird, and Trey Bartow, the top 6 positions. And there's Josh Marzak, who won the first segment, currently has the best average finishing position. However, there are still 2 more segments left to go. Here we go, green flag in segment number 2. And Davidson with a really good run to the inside of Christian Master. Here comes John Art in the 05. Of course, John Art's been in quite a few All-Star races. As a matter of fact, I think he's been in every single one since season number 3. But he's never really had too much success in this race before. But there he goes, taking the second position away from Christian Master as Davidson pulls away in the number 95. And up the racetrack just a little bit went John Art there, and Ace Garcia lost the number 81 there just a little bit, and he lost a little bit of ground. And for the race lead, Master back on Mark Davidson.
He won the first segment. It didn't look like there's all kinds of passing. I mean, it looked like the field was pretty. Oh my goodness! Look at the 92.
Yeah, Pez almost got in the Master. They're still side by side for the race lead.
That was a crazy move right there by Yepez trying to dive it in there. Didn't really work for him though. But as I was saying, I felt like there was a little bit less passing than I originally thought we were going to see in that segment. But it looks like in this one we are seeing all kinds of battling happen. It is early though, so I'm imagining these guys are going to spread out a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see right now as Christian Master currently leads by about 3 car lengths.
Good run there for the Daytona winner from a couple weeks ago. Yepez is up to 3rd. Here comes Matt Dallio in the number 79. And by the looks of it, by the way these guys are racing, it doesn't seem like these guys are shuffling through the field as much as they have been in past years, which means that where you start in that final 10-lap segment is going to mean a lot more. So you want to get those good average starting positions. And Matthew Phillips is not wasting any time. He's already inside the top 10 in that number 15 machine. Gonna get around Fisher G, John Art right there, and he is moving his way through the field very, very well. Josh Marzak, the segment winner from the last segment, is still midway through the field there in number 34. And Riley Spurley, there's another guy who's also advanced fairly well in number 39. He is just behind Matthew Phillips there. They're doing a great job moving their way through the field.
One of the big things we were talking about in the last segment was actually Matthew Phillips and how he'd be able to move up through the field. And it looks like he's had no problem doing that. He probably was able to get to that inside line very quickly, and we were racing pretty crazily at the beginning. We still are almost, as you see, Yepez with a tight corner right there on the exit. But Matthew Phillips has clearly taken advantage of all the chaos that was happening mid-pack right there in those first couple laps. And here he is. He's going to get 2 more positions here, it looks like, to be able to complete both passes, and yes, he will.
Wow, he's doing a great job right now. Alonso's on Matt Dallio. Great to see Matt Dallio running up front in this race. We have not seen much of Dallio at all this season. Hasn't won anything in a long time, actually. But he's going to get past right there. But he might try to get back on here to Marvin Alonso there for the second position.
Oh, he might if you can get him a shot right there. I think Alonso did get into him that previous lap in 3 and 4. But there's Alonso going to move to the race lead against his 7. And it looks like, yeah, he's going to be able to complete that. And they're going to go side by side for second place right there. Dallio on the inside.
Matthew Phillips up to the 4th position now in the number 15. Here comes Patrick Smith as well. And it's no surprise to see these guys running up front. Oh, Phillips, I think he might have gotten in the outside wall just a little bit. And here comes Patrick Smith. And Patrick Smith's been a really solid driver this season. He's been doing a great job. Matt Dalio is going to get a run to the inside for the race lead. On here, Joe Larvin Alonso. Here in segment number 2. And a segment win definitely helps out your average for that final 10-lap segment. And Matt Dalio might get one here in 6 laps. But Christian Master all over the back bumper of Virgil Larvin Alonso. Patrick Smith and Diego Yepes now the top 5. And Matthew Phillips is falling back just a little bit. Last year's winner, Tristan Allen, almost got into him. Thankfully, he avoided any contact, and he is going to remain in the 7th position. And Nathan Baer doing a good job, at least in this segment, up to the 8th position.
Very impressed right there by Tristan Allen. That was some nice sportsmanship. He pretty much kind of got into the 15 a little bit there that was, and a little bit. Then he
boy, you got to be careful. Here's the thing. If you spin around and you fall a lap down here, you're going to be out of the race. So guys like Tristan Allen, they do not want to risk that. For Mark Davidson and John Arndt, they have not done too well in this segment, and they fall into the back of the field once again. And it's looking like certain drivers are remaining out front here at Eldora. It's 2 laps to go in segment 2 for Matt Dalio. Patrick Smith to the inside of Diego Yepes. That is for the 2nd position. Alonso trying to get back on Christian Masters to say, and Matthew Phillips is under fire from Tristan Allen at the moment, but it looks pretty good for Dalio at this point as he takes the white flag here in segment number 2.
Yeah, he got a nice lead this time. It's not going to be another situation like we saw in the last segment. Dalio is going to come home a winner in segment 2, it looks like.
He's got it. Alonso 2nd. Patrick Smith. Diego Yepes, I think, barely edged out Christian Masters the line, and he did. But Matthew Phillips with a 6th place finish. So that's a 3rd and a 6th for Matthew Phillips, and he might end up with the best average finishing position for that final segment if he can keep it up for the next segment. But we're going to invert the field once again. Dalio's going to start at the end of the field, and John Arndt will lead the field of the green flag in segment number 3. Let's go ahead and get to that segment here from Eldora. And segment number 3 is about to commence here at Eldora. And interesting thing, all 29 drivers are still in this race. We have yet to have a driver eliminated from competition from finishing a lap down, which is pretty good to see in a way. It's John Arndt, Justin Roberts on the front row, Cody Sill, Mark Davidson, then Carter Friesen and Nathan Stapleton. The 2 drivers with the best averages right now are Matthew Phillips and Virgil Larvin Alonso. So we'll have to see how those guys do in this segment to see if they can get a good run and possibly start up front for the final segment. John Arndt on the inside of Justin Roberts. He's going to try to take the lead away, but they're still side by side. Here comes Cody Sill, the Season 6 All-Star Race winner here from Eldora.
And there you see he's going to throw it in underneath John Arndt side by side for the race lead as they head through 1 and 2.
At the moment, John Arndt
be able to get him here.
has the worst average finishing position of any driver, which means he'd start last for that final segment, so he wants to win this segment and improve his average at least a little bit. Carter Friesen. A lot of these guys who are starting up front for this segment do not have good averages yet, so a huge opportunity for them to possibly get a good run and a good starting position for that final segment.
Definitely something you want to be thinking about here, and I will say, considering we made it clean the first 2 segments, I do think there's a likely chance that we will make it through this one clean. But we have seen some close calls, so we'll just kind of have to keep an eye on everything. But there you see diving in, John Arndt looking for 2nd place, wasn't able to get there.
John Arndt's doing a good job staying right behind Carter Friesen here in the 3rd position. Seth Cole's there. Riley Spurley's back to the inside. And Spurley started midway through the pack for this segment. There's Trey Barcho and Jesse Turner. They're inside the top 10. Marzak, the segment 1 winner, is inside the top 10. We'll check in on some of the guys who have those good averages. Patrick Smith almost getting in the Christian Master. He did get in the Christian Master there and almost lost it. There's Matt Dalio trying to work the inside lane. Matthew Phillips, however, is stuck. I mean, it's interesting. The 2 guys with the best averages up to this segment are right now the last 2 guys on the racetrack. That's really going to turn things upside down for that final segment. And to the race lead, Seth Cole on Cody Sill on lap number 9 of segment number, actually lap number 8, I should say, of segment number 3 here in the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race.
there is still a little bit of time for those two guys that were back there to make their way forward. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that. But look at this pass for the race lead from third to first.
Good move there by Riley Spurley, taking it away from Seth Cole. You know, Christian Masters getting another good run here. He, I believe, kept that thing in the top 5 in segment number 2, and he's back inside the top 5 here. Carter Friesen, it's going to spin him to the inside, and he might lose it here. He's got to get into Seth Cole. That might be it for Seth Cole. Anybody else get involved here? They're going to stack it up. Remember, we do not have any damage on, so these guys will be just fine. But if they get caught a lap down, they're going to be out of the race. And Matthew Phillips is one of those guys getting stuck behind Seth Cole there. There's your race leader, Riley Spurley. Will any of these guys get caught a lap down?
I don't think so. I think they're all going to be able to make it right here. But if they have another incident where they check up just a little bit, guess what? These guys are going to be coming, but I don't know. I mean, how much distance between them is that's the question here, because I imagine they're up to speed now.
They are up to speed now, and it looks like they're exiting the corner right there, and then the leaders exit the corner about 3 seconds later. Oh, another spin! Marzak into Seth Cole, and that time they're going to get lapped. Somebody will. The race leader, Patrick Smith, getting into John Andrews, and now Andrews has to battle for his life here to stay into the final segment. But he's not going to be able to do so at the moment. Patrick Smith will lap him, and he will also lap Seth Cole as well. And now the segment 1 winner might be on the verge of getting lapped in the number 34. And right to the inside goes Patrick Smith. He's going to take it away from the American Motorsport driver.
And now it's a different story for some of these guys. Rather than just fighting to get an average position, now you're fighting for your race and your fate here. You want to get back to the inside line. You need to get back to the inside line in order to remain in this one by the time the segment closes. The best way to do this.
Ooh, John Andrews taking it back. He's going to have to hold it off, though. And guess who's running second? Matt Dalio in the number 79. After all of that, has worked his way to the second position. And there's a very good chance Dalio could end up with the best average finishing position heading into the final segment. Because both Alonso and Phillips got caught up in that little skirmish there midway through this segment. And while they're both still on the lead lap, they're deep in the field here, and they might not get a good average. But John Andrews holding on for dear life right now to get into that final segment. And Marzak wants to be able to pass him as well. Seth Cole is out of this thing. There's no way he's going to be able to make it. He's just too far behind at this point. Well, we're going to focus here with Marzak. He's going to make a move to the inside and try to stay alive here in the All-Star race.
I do like his chances right now. He's going to try and pull down to the inside line. I think it's 2 versus a leader, so if they want to work together and try and keep him at bay, I think that these guys are both going to have a shot right here, but just going to have to keep on watching.
We only have 1 more lap to go to hold on. Patrick Smith looking to win segment number 3. Matt Dalio's going to finish second, and with that, I do believe Matt Dalio's going to get the best average finishing position. John Andrews and Josh Marzak will be safe, even though they spin at the line there. But Patrick Smith will win segment number 3. And they got to just get back around here, and they should be able to complete their lap. Man, Marzak again getting him the Christian Master. This is going to affect the average finish here of these guys, I do believe.
I don't know. I mean, if
Marzak does have to cross the line here still.
Marzak, that's going to really
I don't know. I don't know if they're going to call him a lap down or not. Either way, he will not be called a lap down, regardless of what the game says, because he did officially cross the line. Actually, you know what? Oh boy, we got an interesting one here because it's complete, and it is showing both Marzak and Andrews. Yeah, you know what? They still wrecked. They wrecked while they were still green flag racing there.
Oh my goodness.
But the race leader had already finished, so realistically, they both completed the lap, which means they are both good, even though it says they're both a lap down. So they're going to go ahead and keep him in the race, but Seth Cole is officially out, as he did officially finish a lap down. But Patrick Smith took the checkered flag after Josh Marzak and John Andrews took the white flag, and because of that, Marzak and Andrews are going to be safe, and they will be in the final segment.
What an interesting turn of events there at the end of that, though. I mean, I was laughing along there at the end, like with all those guys that was wrecking it, because it really didn't matter. But that did scare me right there, how they were scored a lap down. But I do agree with that decision to allow them to race, because, I mean, once the leader crosses the checkered flag, I mean that's it. You know, I don't think he's going to be able to lap anybody that did not cross the checkered flag yet. So I decision right there.
So good decision there. Luke Rainey definitely agreeing with us, and that's a good thing if he's agreeing with us. So number 83 of Seth Cole will be the only driver who will not be in the final segment, as he did officially finish a lap down. But both Marzak and Andrews were still technically on the lead lap. The scoring kind of changed a little bit there because they wrecked on their final lap and they didn't have enough time to come and complete the lap. But like we mentioned, Patrick Smith, the race leader, took the checkered flag after Marzak and Andrews took the white flag. So they will both be in this final segment. So we're going to have 28 guys in this final segment. We're going to go ahead and give you guys the average starting positions and the starting lineup for the final segment right now here from Eldora. Who's going to win the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race in season number 8? We're going to find out in just about 7 minutes. And they're lined up for the final 10-lap segment. And Patrick Smith, who won segment number 3 with the best average finishing position. You're going to see the starting lineup for the final segment on the side of your screen. It was Patrick Smith and Matt Dahlia with the second best average. And last year's winner, Tristan Allen, will be starting third alongside the Open winner of Riley Spurley. Herja Larvin Alonso, Matthew Phillips, Daniel McMillan, Wyatt Quayle, Zachary Fitzwater, and Christian Master with Cody Sill and Diego Yepes. I'm going to ask you, Luke, who do you think is going to win the Chick-fil-A All-Star race in these final 10 laps?
Let's go with Tristan Allen right here. Let's see him get the job done in a Chick-fil-A Cup Series race, getting the victory in this one. I'm pulling for him here. Let's get back racing.
10 laps to decide it all here at Eldora. Who's going to win the Season 9 Reserve?
Side by side heading out to number 2, and it looks like Patrick Smith will get them both, but here comes Tristan Allen to his inside. Side by side once again off 4. He checks up a little bit on exit. Oh, 3 wide.
Alonso 3 wide to the inside. He's going to put Tristan Allen in the middle. Here comes Daniel McMillan and Mr. All-Star Zachary Fitzwater himself. You know Fitzwater wants to get another All-Star race victory. He's come so close here so many times. McMillan taking the lead away in the number 75, and here comes the Season 6 All-Star race winner of Cody Sill. Brad Stover's up here on the inside, too, and Patrick Smith got shuffled out of line, and he's falling way back in the number 66. But Daniel McMillan, the race leader with 7 laps to go.
These guys inside the top 3 we didn't even talk about once his entire race. Daniel McMillan now leading the way. There's Fitzwater in second place. Who is this to his inside right there? 3 wide hang out turn number 4.
Cody Sill, Brad Stover, 3 wide. Cody Sill with the run to the inside of Zachary Fitzwater as McMillan lost it off the corner. And this is Josh Marzak in the 34 who almost got eliminated in the last segment. He's inside the top 5. New race leader, Cody Sill, trying to win his second ever All-Star race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series.
And he's got a decent cushion right now, but that can evaporate very quickly. And guess what? It just did, because guess what? He only has like less than... Oh, he's got to get past right now.
He hit the outside wall. Brad Stover took it away. American Motorsports, Josh Marzak, Nathan Stapleton on the inside lane. And they're passing like crazy for these final 10 laps. 3 laps to go for Brad Stover in the Chick-fil-A All-Star race.
Us Marzak is not going to go down without a fight right there in that 34 car. He is still within range. Imagine if he gets the win after what happened in segment 3.
Oh, I don't know if he's going to get it, though. Here comes Stapleton for second. He's going to put Marzak in the wall. And Stapleton up to the second position. Brad Stover holding on. 2 laps to go between Stover and Stapleton.
I think Stapleton's going to be setting up for a pass right here in turn number 3.
To the inside, white flag in the air, the Chick-fil-A All-Star race for Nathan Stapleton in the number 28. But Cody Sill is here in the number 37. Will he get a run to the inside? I think Stapleton's put enough of a gap on the rest of the field. Or has he? He's going a little wide. Here comes Cody Sill. Nathan Stapleton will win the Chick-fil-A All-Star race in season number 8. And with that, he's going to get a Season 9 reserve for the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series.
How about some Hoosier pride going to victory lane here at Eldora? What a finish that was. Nathan Stapleton pretty much out of nowhere in this last segment, getting the job done. I talked about Daniel McMillan, how we didn't mention him once. Same could be said for the 28 car. He was very quiet tonight, but he rose to the occasion in that final segment. What a job by that team, and Nathan Stapleton especially, getting that victory, and he's in 9 with the reserve.
I'm sure he's going to be pretty happy about that one, Nathan Stapleton. And you know what? We're not too far from Indiana either. I mean, we're only a few miles from the state of Indiana, too. So that's got to be a special win. Might be the win of Stapleton's career. That was a good one right there. He put the move there on Cody Sill. Cody Sill almost had him again. Cody Sill almost won this race like he did in Season 6. But he just couldn't hold off Nathan Stapleton, who finally gets a win there for American Motorsports, and that's definitely got to boost the morale for Stapleton after the tough season he has had. I believe that's his 8th career Napa fan win. But either way, it was definitely a well-earned victory here, and with that, Nathan Stapleton will get a Season 9 reserve, and he will be able to create his own team and drive for his own team as well because of this victory here tonight. And I know he's a guy who is definitely going to take that offer up and make up a team for season number 9. But how about that? I mean, all these guys who were running up front at the end, we really didn't talk about it all the entire race. But a lot of these guys, they kind of just were in the middle the whole time, and then when it came to the final segment, they went from the middle of the racetrack right to the front. And with that, we had Nathan Stapleton get the race victory, and I don't think he even led a lap until the end of this final segment.
Yeah, he came out of, like I said, he came out of absolutely nowhere, and for him to get the job done, Eldora for the All-Star race, I mean, that is a classic ending as well. But I was very surprised Cody still didn't get to him in 3 and 4 because with the way Stapleton went wide there in that final corner, I thought there was about to be some trouble coming to the line for that 28, but luckily for him at least, that was not the case. Congratulations to him, like I said earlier.
And with that, Nathan Stapleton will forever be in the Chick-Fil-A All-Star race. So, definitely a well-earned victory right there out of the number 2018. And Cody Sill did a great job as well. He almost won his 2nd ever All-Star race and couldn't get it done. Andrew Ross came out of nowhere for 3rd. Brad Stover and Josh Marzak round out the top 5. And Marzak, remember, he almost got knocked out in the 3rd segment. He almost won this thing, but just couldn't do it. His teammate Stapleton got to the inside and took it away from him there. And that was that. And how about that? That was a very good All-Star race final segment. But we didn't have a last lap pass like we did in Season 6, so I guess you could say it wasn't the best of finishes. Nah, I'm just kidding. That was a really, really good finish, a really, really good race. And we thank you guys so much for joining us here tonight from the Eldora Speedway. And now the chase of the championship begins. Not the actual chase, because we don't actually have a chase anymore, but the fight to the championship, I should say. Better terms there. Begins next week at Watkins Glen. Only 7 races remain. Watkins Glen, Rockingham Motor Speedway in the United Kingdom. The Bristol Motor Speedway. Talladega, Darlington, Indianapolis, and Homestead. A lot of different racetracks, but a lot of great racetracks here in the Chick-Fil-A Cup Series, and it's going to be a blast to see who gets it done here. Looking like Nathan Barrett's going to get it, but a lot can happen in these final 7 races, so don't go anywhere. But either way, thank you so much, I should say, Luke Rainey, for joining me here for this race here tonight. And glad you can be part of this great event that we've done for the 8th straight time. And Nathan Stapleton gets it done for his first ever All-Star race victory and quite possibly the biggest win of his career. Thank you guys so much for watching here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed all the racing action from Eldora. Tomorrow morning, or should I say tomorrow afternoon, it is the Canadian Grand Prix in the Haas IndyCar Series. That's going to be at 1 o'clock Eastern from Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. So that's going to be a fun one there. And we'll have to see how it all goes down for the Haas IndyCar Series, as they only have 4 races left to go in their championship. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Nathan Stapleton on his All-Star race victory, and on behalf of Luke Rainey, I will see you guys later.